Hello, I believe we are live. Let me double check just because sometimes you never know, as y'all have hung out this weekend, have seen, or this week. We had quite the quite the major, there we go, the major tech hiccup yesterday. Anyway, welcome. Thank you for joining. So a few of you have registered, but you weren't able to join the Facebook group. So if you are catching this in replay, make sure you jump in here and hit hashtag replay. And just so you know, you will be getting the replay. So no worries if you were not able to make this live. We will make sure that if you registered, you have the replay. Also, make sure that you've downloaded your training guide. If you are here but you don't have the training guide yet, it's not hard to get it. Super easy. All you have to do is click on the header at the top of this Facebook page, and when you click on that, it's going to give you a link. You pop in your email, you get your email address and your name, I think, and then this is going to show up in your email. So you'll have it, even if you don't have it printed out today, you can have that to follow along later. So say hello as you are joining. Say hello as you are arriving today. I always love to see who is able to make it here and hang out with me live. It's always more fun when I have live people. Of course, Jamie's here. Jamie is over there hanging out. Yep, and I can see his name today. Oh, he's no longer just a Facebook user. So today we're going to have fun while we're getting stuff done. Have fun and get stuff done. That is my motto, so that we can, back there, create, sell, thrive. I've got my shirt on today. Right. We want to create, sell, and thrive. Hello from South Carolina. Yay, I love South Carolina. Thanks for joining us. All right, let's get jumped in here. As you arrive, keep saying hello, so that I know who's here. It's always more fun to know who I'm hanging out with and who I am joining. I want you to know that I value your time. I really understand that everybody is busy here. So I appreciate you taking the time out to be here and watch this, even if you're watching it in replay. And I want to make sure that you're going to get a lot from it. So hello, I've got another Facebook user. I'm sorry, I can't see your name. Oh, Dana, good to see you. Jamie's going to tell me who everyone is. That'll be so much better. Okay, so welcome to the 3 Sales Secrets Artists Must Know Masterclass. I am so glad you are here. Who is this for? Who is this masterclass for? This is for both the established artist and the emerging artist. If you are an artist who just wants to find more leads, grow your collector's base, maybe you've already have a decent sales record, right? You've already made some sales. You're already really established as a professional artist, but you want to expand it. This is the place to be. And we're going to talk about how refining your messaging will help you do that. If you're an emerging artist, and here, let's switch this view here. How about this? Yay. Oh no, that's too small. Let's go to this one. If you're an emerging artist and you're just figuring out the first steps as to what you need to do to get your business going, this is the perfect place. Especially like if you're not sure about your prices and you want to learn how to take all those comments that you're starting to see in your social media, like, oh, lovely, love it, that's great, oh, you're so talented, and really be able to turn them into leads that become customers so that you can sell to them. That's really what we're talking about here. Everything we do here is based on sales science. That is what I love teaching. It has changed my business completely, and that's why I'm out here sharing this with you. So let's get to know each other really quick before we dive in. Who is here who has written down their goals for 2023? And I mean written them down. As you know, I'm all about neuroscience and how things work inside our heads. So it really is important for us to write things down, for us to write them, say them, read them. It's going to change how fast you can reach those goals, because the more often we repeat them, the more often we focus on them, the more often we bring intentionality to them, the faster we're going to be able to reprogram our moose, right? That moose he's just kind of a little resistant. He likes his same path. So anytime you're trying to put a new idea, which is a new goal, you've got to focus on it. Yay! I see that I'm hoping, is that Dana? I can't tell. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Nancy's here. Yay! She's written down her goals too. All right. I would love for you to share. This is another way of helping us reprogram and helping you reach your goals. We're using some neuroscience to do this. I would love for you to share one of your 2023 business goals. It can be anything. If it's a really, really long one, you can choose something shorter. But it could either be a financial goal, or maybe it's the number of people you want on your social media. Maybe it's you're wanting to launch a website. Maybe you have a goal for how many pieces you want to have painted, completed, and out there this year. Whatever that is. Or maybe you do shows. So maybe you want to be able to apply and be accepted to a certain number of shows. Whatever those goals are, I would love for you to share them. Sometimes my comments don't show up here. So if I miss them, I will catch them later. I will catch them after we do the live show, because I'm going to be reading through all the comments. Do not feel like you are just lost. All right. So here's the last big question before we get going here. What is your ultimate dream goal? Not just, hey, I want to have, more people, or more, hey, I just want to grow my sales. What's the ultimate dream and goal for your business? What do you want to be able to do with your business? Are you wanting to be able to support your family? Are you wanting to be able to just have extra money because you want to take that bucket list trip, right, to Europe or Asia or wherever you're wanting, Dubai, wherever you're wanting to go across the world, right? 20,000 or more months by year's end. Excellent. Oh my gosh. See, I love these specific goals. This is what's going to help you be empowered when you can stay focused on those very specific goals. So if you haven't had a chance to really write these down and think of that, I'm going to encourage you to do that. We did that in the Tata to 2022 at the end of the year, but it is never too late to get those down and really start focusing on them so you can put them into long-term memory and get that moose headed towards the new lake, the new summit, right? That's where we want to go. And here's the truth. Even the best plans and goals and dreams come with trail blockers. Trail blockers is what I call them, but they can be any obstacle, right? It could be your health. It could be, I just talked to someone recently, her roommate is moving out. So she has an extra financial burden, and she's seeing that as something that's going to pull her away from her art business. And we have to make these decisions on how we're going to respond to those trail blockers. And sometimes those trail blockers can make or break us. So I want you to be able to normalize them. Let's normalize them and reframe them as a natural part of our journey so that they don't feel so ucky. Because really, it's how we feel about the things that happen to us that can really get us off track. Nancy's got one here. I want 1,000 people on my social media. I want to be able to go to Florida for a month and sell my art while I'm there. Oh, yeah. When are you going to go to Florida, Nancy? Let's go in winter. Go someplace and I'll come see you in Florida. Okay. So if we normalize our hiccups, our trail blockers, our obstacles, it's going to make us be able to work through them faster. We're going to be able to get over the big trail blocker, or we're going to be able to bust through it, whatever that is for you. When we can expect them, when we know to expect them, it's not going to throw us off our game so much. When things are going to happen that don't match up and are getting in the way that can get me off track of getting to my goal, but that's okay. I expect it. And then we can welcome them as opportunities. I want you to be able to take whatever's going on that you feel like isn't going well and just reframe it as, I don't really know why this is happening. It's part of my journey, but I'm going to welcome this as an opportunity to have something greater happen than really what my goal was or what I expected. Even though it may seem messy right now, messy in the middle, you're going to eventually be able to get where you want to go, which is why I'm bringing you the 3 sales secrets today. These are the solutions. Yes, the solution for our 3 most common trail blockers. This is really what I see most often that's preventing artists from getting what they want and what they deserve. My face is in the way. We'll move my face so you can see those slides. And that is why we wanted to do this today. So here's what we're going to get. Here's what you're going to do today. You are going to be able to have one proven marketing tool that you can use to quickly grow your audience. Some of you will be surprised at how simple that is, but it's something that we don't always know the power of, so we forget about it. And then we're going to learn the one thing you must know that about every art buyer that's going to help you close more sales. And you're going to have the simple secret to be able to crushing your customers' objections so you can stop letting those sales slip through your fingers. Oh my gosh, we've had that happen so many times. And it doesn't mean that you're going to nail every sale because sometimes people just aren't ready to purchase from us. We have to be able to understand and read them and know when that's happening. And that is part of what you're going to understand today. And then you're going to know one thing that you need in every sales conversation so that you will have more people buying from you. That is, how does that sound? Does that sound good? Are we going to get some stuff done today? Have fun while we're getting some stuff done. Who am I? Well, I am a professional artist, although I don't create as much art as I would like to anymore. I spend a lot of time coaching other artists. I work in sales science and I'm a mindset expert. So I've got over 10 plus years experience coaching artists. I bring a 30 plus year background of experience to you when I am sharing these things with you. I have a degree in psychology. I have worked with some of the leading really mentors. I'll call them mentors or leaders in this industry. And I love helping my artists that work with me grow their audience, gain their sales confidence, close more sales, raise their prices, right? Without feeling like you're being really pushy or a little salesy, slimy. I know that feeling. I don't want you to feel like that. That is our top priority, to make sure that you can sell in a way that works for both you and your customer in the best way possible, and help you do that. Even if you're an introvert, even if you're not really comfortable with talking to people on a normal, having a normal discussion and being able to transition it into sales, I'm going to be able to help you do that, even if you don't like selling. Because I want you, and this is what I love doing with artists, I want them to have the business they've always wanted and a life they love doing what they love. That's what I want for you. That's what my artists that I work with, that's what they are shooting for. And we are working towards that every day to get that. So I'm going to be passing on all these proven strategies and tactics to you. A lot of what I'm telling you today comes from, like I said, my 30 years of background and experience, my degree, and working with the industry leaders and coaches, personally working with them. I have to say, I'm really proud to say that I have met these people and I know what they teach is powerful and what they teach works. So that's why I wanted to be able to really hone them and tailor them in a way that works for artists. Sometimes we get a lot of information from a lot of different places, but it doesn't always work for selling art as a product. So that's what I have done, is taken that and really developed that for you. All right. So before we get going, I really want us to do, I'm calling it a system reset. This is before we jump in. If you are able to do this, I'd love for you to do this. If you can't, like if you're driving or someplace you can't do this, it's okay. But I just want you to understand that we're doing this because, once again, there's some science behind this. We're going to make sure that we're setting ourselves up to be able to be the most open to receive the information that I'm going to be sharing with you, so that you can prime yourself to really get the most out of the class. Yes, yes, yes. So if you're in a place where you can do this, I want you to stand up. Stand up. I just want you to shake yourself out a little. I'm in my chair since I'm on camera. I can't really do that, but I just want you to know. I want you to shake yourself out a little, right? Now, I want you to stand still, or if you're sitting down, that's fine. I want you to close your eyes. Right? Okay. Shake ourselves out, close our eyes. I want you to take a really deep breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. Just relax and let it come all the way through from your diaphragm. Feel that. Do it one more time. I want you to think about shutting everything else out that's going on around us. I want you to close your eyes, maybe roll your neck a little. Roll your neck a little. Sometimes there's a lot of tension there. And we're just going to let everything else that's outside just kind of melt away right now. Take one more deep breath. Okay, I love it. You have just learned how to use science to create a system reset for yourself. You are ready. You are ready to engage. All right, so let me tell you a little background here about why I'm sharing these 3 secrets with you. It was several years ago. I'm calling it the light bulb moment. And I was at a show in Kansas City, big, huge show. It was actually a home and garden show. There were not very many artists there. And in fact, the 4 or 5 other artists that were there weren't even in their booths. They just had all this stuff with no prices. It was kind of an odd thing. So really it came down to me and this one other guy. I don't know anyone. I'm obviously not from Kansas City. And he is over there just working it. I mean, I can tell that he's putting sold stickers up on stuff. He's on the phone. I can tell that he looks like he's doing selfies or doing videos of himself. I figured it was videos because he's talking while he's on. Anyway, he's just hustling. He's painting live. People are chatting him up as they come into his booth. And I was there for a total of almost 4 days. So by the 3rd day, I finally had the guts, to go and introduce myself. He was really busy. So that was the other thing. It's not like we had a lot of time where I could just go over and chat with him. But, my booth had nothing going on. I had time. He didn't. And my booth was really quiet. I had really big, beautiful abstracts. And then I had some smaller pieces. I even had prints. My booth was very professionally set up. I had professional panels, professional lighting, like you name it. I look the part, and I still really wasn't getting a lot of sales. A few people were complimenting. A lot of people didn't even really want to engage. They wouldn't make eye contact with me. So I was very frustrated. So finally I went over, said, "Hey, I'm Shauna. And, I'd love to know, how the heck are you doing what you're doing?" I just, he said, "Well, what's going on?" He said, "Where are you from?" Kind of got to know each other. He said, "Well, here, I'll show you." So he came over to my booth, and he's just one of those personalities, right? He just starts rearranging my booth for me. He's like, "Oh, well, you need to have these here." So there was some logistics there, some layouts that I hadn't been aware of. And then he started talking to people as they were coming into the booth. And the way he was talking to people was really different than the way I was. And they were engaging with him. And not only that, he sold one of my largest pieces for me. He'd only been hanging out with me for like 2 hours, and he'd already sold one of my largest pieces with me and was helping like get it to this lady's car. I mean, how awesome is that, right? What an awesome friend. He's really one of my best friends now. So there we go. That was my light bulb moment that, holy crap, I need to figure out what he's doing that I'm not, so that I can start making this work. That is when I started really diving into my background in psychology and looking at all the things that I could do differently. Instead of making the excuses, I was making a lot of excuses that whole weekend. I was saying things like, well, we're at the end of the show. All the fun stuff is upstairs. Like all the really cool fun stuff is upstairs. We're down here with all these remodeler construction people. And, people are thinking about kitchen cabinets. They're not here for art. You name it. I was coming up with all the excuses. And really, it didn't have anything to do with that. It had to do with part of what I'm going to share with you today. Katrina, yay, I'm here. No worries for being late. So these 3 sales secrets, they doubled my income in less than a year without having to have art licensing deals, without having to worry about galleries. I didn't have to have a fancy e-commerce website store. These sales secrets transformed my business. And these are the secrets to unlocking things like, here's Sydney. Sydney is one of the artists that I work with. She said, even though I still struggle with wanting to bend my prices too low, Sydney had a long ways to go. She was really underpricing her art. And she was actually able to up her prices at least 5 times during the time that we worked together. And she's already sold a full price piece less than 1 month into the new year. Thank you for your help, Shauna. That is what these secrets can do for you. So, trail blockers. What do you think? And I'd love for you to put this in the chat. If you can't put it in the chat because you're driving, or I want you to go ahead and write these down, because once again, we are working through some neuroscience and some psychology here as to how our brains work. We want to put these on paper. What do you think is keeping you from reaching your goals? Is it you just don't have enough people seeing your artwork? Or is it that you have people seeing your artwork and complimenting you and saying all these wonderful things, but you can't figure out how to transition them and how to get them into a conversation where you can find out what they need and want so that you can fulfill that for them? Whatever it is, I want you to think about that. Is it because you just don't have a system? Maybe you're just kind of all out there. This was me. I was kind of everywhere. I was trying to be everywhere because I knew that being online and being out in social media was super key and crux to being able to get more people to be able to sell. But I didn't have a really good system for communicating with them so that I could connect and engage with them in a way that led them down the path, quote, to the sale. There's a lot of psychology behind how we talk to people, and I was missing that. Once that changed, I was able to do that. Katrina, I need more people to see me, but the big thing is learning how to transition them. Oh, and I'm everywhere too, social media and booths. Yeah. And honestly, I did shows on the road across the nation for 3 years. It was very expensive. And really, a lot of what I was earning, I was selling okay at the shows, not as well as I would have liked to. But a lot of that would be eaten up in my expenses that it took me to have everything that I needed to have a professional booth, to travel, the lodging, the food. It didn't turn out to be a really profitable way to sell my art. So I knew after those 3 years that I needed to find another option. At first, it was my mindset. Now I think it's that I don't utilize an email list. Email lists are important. Once again, I'm not sure who that is. Dana. I want to have you push beyond that and realize that having an email list is super powerful. We all need one. And that's part of what we help you do. but you have to be able to use that email list effectively. And we have to know how to communicate with people on that email list. Once again, to keep them in our universe, we call it, right? So that we stay top of mind and we're the first person they think about when they want to buy a piece of art. Better messaging. Yeah, messaging was key for me. I didn't realize that I was missing a lot of key points in my messaging. So these three sales secrets are it's kind of a tongue twister. 3 sales secrets are the keys to unlocking the business and life you've always wanted. I am so excited to dive in. Yes. All right. So you heard my story about really how this all came to be. And here's the thing. We all have different things that we struggle with, but they all get consolidated and boiled down into these 3 areas that we are going to cover today. So when we can get these in our heads that, okay, you can check off which ones you're getting stuck in, then once you can pinpoint that, it's much easier to know exactly where you need to go in and make those corrections. Right? So like if it's pricing or people or emails or whatever that is. But I want you to have these because they transformed my business. Okay. And everyone else that I work with. Secret number 1, you have to understand sales identities. You need to know what your sales identity is. And I talk about you have to really tap into your inner X factor. Your inner X factor is the key to helping you stand out in the art industry. It's what makes you unique above all others. And it's also often, it's the things that you take for granted that you don't even realize are your superpowers. And that if you are connecting with people and connecting on those points, you're going to start having raving fans. Not just people who are like, oh yeah, she's that artist. No, they are going to be your friend. And when you have people that, even though you don't know them personally face to face, when you are friends with people, you're going to be one of the first people they think of when they're like, oh, I'm going to paint that room. And oh, I don't have anything to hang on that wall. And it's been driving me nuts. Right? So you need to know who you are, very clear on that and how you stand up in front of your audience. Then you need to understand your customer. There are 4 different types of art buyers out there, and we need to be able to identify them. When we can identify them and categorize them, and we're like, oh, I know what kind of art buyer you are, it makes it very easy for us to connect and engage in a way that they understand and hear us, and makes them very comfortable to be able to engage with you. Sometimes if we go out and we talk to someone in a way that they are not receptive to, then what we're saying can come off the wrong way to them. It can offend them. And I'm not saying we have to dance around on eggshells trying to watch out and make everybody, happy. But I want you to know that you can identify 4 different types of art buyers that you can connect with. And when you can do that, it will speed up your sales. Secret number 2, you got to use some neuromarketing. Oh, this was the game changer. This was the huge game changer for me. I had to understand what my buyers' priorities were. And I soon discovered that every buyer had a little bit of a different priority. They kind of fall into 5 or 6 different categories. And once again, the quicker I identified what their priority was, the easier it was for me to message to them in a way that helped them understand how I could solve their problem, whatever that problem was for them. Okay, I think we have to switch slides. I had to do these in 3 different sets, you guys. Okay, so secret number 2, the second part of that is our message delivery formula. There's actually a formula. There is an order in which we need to message to our customer, to any human. It's honestly a human thing as to how we process information. If we aren't using that formula as to how we deliver our information, people get confused, or they don't hear it. They'll just overlook it, or they'll discount it because it doesn't make sense to them. And that is just the way we're wired as humans. Then we have to be able to build rapport with them. And there are 4 different ways, there are 4 different elements that we need to really utilize and know how to incorporate or integrate, I guess is a better word, into our messaging, because that is going to help build rapport, that know, like, trust factor. Those things are key in getting people to really trust you, so that when it comes time to putting their money on the table and pulling out that credit card, they have all faith that you are the right person with the right product to get them what they need. I still don't understand what problem art solves besides livening up an environment and inspiration. Wow. Oh my gosh. I would love to dig into that with you. There's so much. I can't really, that's not a short answer. And Katrina wants some superpowers. Yes, yes. And the email list, I saw that. Okay. Then there's also 4 different neuro messaging ways. So not only is there a certain order, a message delivery formula, but there are also 4 different ways that we can message to people where we are using neuroscience to help communicate and engage with them better. Secret number 3. And I'm telling you, these guys, when you see them, you're like, oh, that seems kind of simple, but a lot. But this is what it boils. If you can master these 3 secrets, everything's going to change for you. So here's number 3. These are the sales science hacks that when it comes to your sales conversation and actually getting out there and converting, right? So all those conversations and all those posts and all those things, actually converting, we need to be able to have a repeatable offer framework. It is a framework. It is a formula. It's a process that we follow every single time with every single client. Now, obviously, it changes according to how the client responds to us, but we still know how to respond within that framework. We know where they are in the framework so that we know what we need to be delivering to them. And we need to be able to have our sales psychology skills so that we can welcome objections. Objections, they're endless. They really are endless. And everybody has a little bit of a different slant on them, but we can actually, I call it objection crushers. We can actually crush them in our conversations with people before we get to the closing point, before we get to the point where we're ready to close the deal. We don't want them popping all their objections in at the very end. So there is a system that we can use to make sure that we're getting all of those out of the way so that by the time it comes to, yep, I want that, here's the money, there really aren't any more questions at that point. There aren't any more objections. And then there are some conversion boosters, I call them. We need to be able to use these every single time we make an offer that will increase our ratio or of how often we are going to be able to convert. And they're the same thing every time. Once again, it's a formula. You don't have to try to reinvent the wheel every time you're going out to try to sell something. You just know where to put all of these pieces into your system. All right. So does anyone have any surprises there? Any surprises as far as understanding what it takes, those 3 sales secrets to really get you moving, right? You've got to understand how you can identify who you are as your identity, your customer's identity. You've got to be able to have that neuromarketing and how we message, connect, and engage with people. And then we really need to have a really solid conversion framework, that sales framework there at the end. Excuse me. Let me grab a drink. Oh. All right. So who would like to know? Would you like to know a little bit more as to how we can solve all those things for you? I'm sure you've seen them and you're like, wow, that's really a lot. I know it was a lot when I was first looking at it. But if you would like, I would love to be able to share with you how we can bring you all of those things so that you can put them all into your toolkits, right? Into your backpack, I call it, the backpack that has all the gear that gets you up to your summit. Whatever that goal is that you are writing down, whatever your dream is, we just have to have the right stuff in our backpacks because we're hikers on that mountain to get us to the top. And I can do that for you. I love to do that with you. So let me share this with you again. So we've come up with the Trailblazer Collective. That's what we have designed and created for you. It is your place to connect with a curated and positive community. This is a very exclusive community. Not everyone can be a part because they have to know how to be positive and show up with the right attitude. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't have our moments where we all need encouragement. That's why we have the positive community. But there's a difference between trying to tear people down versus, hey, I need some support today, right? And you're going to get access to expert training, feedback, and coaching. It's specifically tailored for artists. It is only about selling creative products, right? It's not about selling, I'll call it utilitarian products. Increase your prices and sales so you have more time to create and get back to doing what you love. That's what I want for you. It has your solutions to the biggest trail blockers that I know that we've all had. I had them. The artists I work with have them. Underpricing our art, not having enough people that are buying our work. We don't know what to say to our audience. We don't want to be too pushy or salesy. So sometimes we don't make the offers when we should because we're just dancing around it. We don't know when to put that out there. And a lot of times we just don't have enough support from people who know how to sell art. It's not really their fault that they don't know. I love it that my family and friends, they try to support me, but when I really need to go and talk to them about something specific, their eyes kind of glaze over, right? Because they don't know what it needs. So we're going to be using that 3-step sales science framework that we just talked about. That's what the Trailblazers Collective walks you through. You and your customer sales identity, the neuromarketing where you know how to connect and engage with your people and find more leads, right? And then those sales science the sales science hacks that are going to help us convert more sales. So this is the visual that I want you to have of what we really are doing. Our neuromarketing sales psychology, it is the foundation. We need to be applying this everywhere. This isn't about having a particular platform to sell on. This is content that goes into every single platform. So it needs to be, you need to have it on your website. It needs to be on your social media. It's got to be to get galleries and exhibitions, especially if you're standing there talking to people, even at shows or those online galleries when you don't have a lot to represent you. It's just a few things out there with a little bit of information, maybe in an about page. We have to have the right messaging in there if we're going to really pull these people into our world. And if we want to get our stuff into retail stores, we have to know how to represent ourselves to the owners, right, of the shops to be able to say, yeah, no, you really want my stuff in here. Why? Why do you want my stuff in here? I'll tell you why. That's the kind of stuff that we are going to be covering. And, even if you have an e-commerce store, same thing. You want to be able to have this information. And that first step is being able to understand your identity and where you stand in the marketplace and quickly identifying what your customer is prioritizing. What are they prioritizing when they are looking at buying your product? And then be able to connect and engage with them in a way that's super natural, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that works for them to be able to kind of have their light bulb moments, and in a way for you to know more about what they need so that you can help them. And then The last step, of course, is being able to have that conversion framework. So when it really comes time to go, okay, we're walking into that sales conversation. If you have a framework that you can follow every time, then maybe, sometimes things will get off track, right? And you've got to bring them back. You got to bring them back to the trail here. That's what a framework allows you to do. And it takes all the pressure off of trying to guess what it is you're supposed to do next to help this person make their buying decision. Oh man, I used to do it all. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't really know where to go next. We help you with that, with the system. And that's how you can get to the top. You're going to be at the summit. You're going to have all that gear in your backpack. It was the right gear to get you to the top of the summit, whatever that is for you. I like to call y'all mega selling artists because that's my dream for you. But whatever that is, I want you to be fulfilling your purpose and your dream. That is the goal. So here is what this is all comprised of. First of all, you have a community. It's a private community. And it's where you get to network and collaborate with other artists just like yourself. It's carefully curated. And you get to brainstorm and share ideas, and it's the place where we have fun. The community is the place where we are going to have a lot of fun. I truly believe that we need to be able to have fun while we're working this hard, because we all know this is not easy. That's why I have that image of it as climbing a mountain. It takes work. This doesn't happen just super easily. There's a process that we have to follow, and there's some base camps that we have to hit to be able to hit the summit. And no more trying, feeling alone, trying to get support from people who don't know or they can't understand really what you're doing and what you're going through. That's what I was talking about when my friends, their eyes glaze over. They love me, but they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you're talking about. So the second part of that is you have a monthly masterclass. A monthly masterclass. This is available to you 24/7 in a members area. It's a private members area library, and that sits there. You can log in, watch that anytime. And those masterclasses, each masterclass is going to be a deep dive into specific tactics, tools, and strategies so that we can get you selling more art. That's the whole goal, right? So tactics and strategies about how to attract new leads, how to price, how are you going to raise your prices? How are you going to get paid what you really deserve for your art? What are you supposed to be saying to people? How do you message to people so that they can really connect and engage with you? And how do you read your customers so that you know exactly what to say to them? And once again, that sales conversation framework that will help you close more sales. So right there, you've already got two pieces of this founders package here at the Trailblazers Collective. And that community, I say that value is priceless. It truly is priceless because you will make friends with these people. These people will become your lifelong friends and always be out there to support you long after you've outgrown whatever we're doing here. And then that monthly masterclass training and library archive, and it's worth $197 a month, the value on that. So then we also add another piece in there. You're going to have a monthly member message makeover. Monthly member message makeover. Woo. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And this is where one person is going to get personalized feedback. So you're going to be able to get personalized feedback. All you have to do, there's a submission form. I go through that, and then you are going to get a full video feedback with everything you need, specific suggestions and ideas on what you can do to improve your messaging, your social media presence, your posts, your closing conversations, whatever it is you're asking me to help you with, that's what you're going to get help with, right? And of course, we want to help make sure that you are making offers that really are irresistible to your customers, to your clients. So when you add all those together right there, that's a value of $394 per month. but we're going to add what I'm calling your power up bonuses, because I really want to make sure that you have the content you need to get the results. So of course, I am all about having fun, staying creative. The first thing I love to give all of my artists is my Be Creative Badass. This is my workbook that's going to help you stay creative even while you're doing all of this work, right? Administrative work, sometimes it feels like it's sucking the life out of us. And so this is going to help you really stay connected to who you are as an artist. So that is valued at $26, and we have come to a total value right now of $420. Then bonus number 2, this is super powerful, and I'll explain later. This will not always be a bonus for everyone. I'll explain. You'll see why later. The Mega Selling Secrets Bundle. This is where you're getting 3 pieces of content. These are super valuable because they're game changers as far as being able to close sales. The mix and match content formula, it's literally, you can mix and match. You choose from here, here, and here. You mix and match it, and there you go. You know what you need to create. The content is basically already there for you. And then you're going to get those conversation templates. And those really make it easier to connect with your audience. And you can use them over again. So all you have to do is tweak them. And they're just some basic foundational things that you're going to be able to use. And I keep adding to these, by the way. These are not just like finalized and done. As I come across new ones when I'm working with people, these files will continually grow. And then you're going to be able to have that cheat sheet. This is super powerful because sometimes when you need it and you're communicating with people, you're like, what is it that's missing? You just review this is what I'm missing. This is a reason to buy that I have not included. I have not covered anywhere in my content. And that can change the game. So that piece right there, I valued it at $1,700. It converts more than 10 times that. So I know that bundle is worth that and more. So then your value here that you're getting, this is a founders only package. That's why I put that down there. There's 2 asterisks there. That will not be available in the future. This is for a founders only offer. So we're at $2,200 right now. Then the bonus number 3 is we're going to include live community events. Absolutely. We're going to bring the fun. We're going to bring the fun because everybody needs a break from the grind. And it can reinvigorate you, remotivate you, get inspired when you get to share the joy of who we are and what we do with each other in a community, and just take a breather from all the stuff that maybe you've been struggling with, the challenges you've bumped into throughout the week. A break from the grind. Yes. So we're going to do things like surprise virtual happy hours and have different contests for y'all. I love those kinds of things, and some holiday parties and giveaways and just random things. But it's going to be all about fun. So I call that priceless when you have a community that you get to have fun with. I can't put a price on, the friends and the girlfriends I get to go out with for happy hour. It's just invaluable to me. And so then let's see. So then we're going to be doing bonus number 4. And that is, oh my gosh, your 12 Blazers welcome kit. The mug actually is not available at this moment, but you do have the sticker pack, just because I love stickers and I tend to make new stickers on a regular basis. So those are something that you'll get. And the Creative Badass journal and a studio towel. It's just a branded towel that's a way to help. It's a reminder, right? For you to remember who you are. You are a mega selling artist. And the more you remind yourself of that, and the more you put your mind there, the more we are retraining our moose. The more we're retraining our moose to really act in line with that, to take the right actions to get us there, whatever our goal is. So when you add all of these together right now, we are at a value of over $2,200. And there's more. Then you're going to get the social media crushing it kit, because I want to make sure that you can get out there in front of your social media and look really good. A lot of times that's what holds us back from getting out there. We're really self-conscious about how we look, and lighting is key. Oh my gosh, if you saw me without lighting, you'd be like, oh my, yeah, lighting is a good thing. So I want to help you with that. Make sure that you have good lighting. And then you're going to have 15 video content ideas. So you have your phone, you have your light, and you're like, but what am I supposed to do on these videos, Shauna? Well, I give you 15 ideas. So right away you can get out there and get going. And then the final thing that we are adding that I did not make a slide for, but once again, this is only included in the founders package, is for those of you that come on, that join, that are founders. Because right now that's what we're offering for anyone who wants to be a founder. You're going to get a private one-on-one business consultation with me. And that's just time where you and I get together, usually on a Zoom. I don't think anyone lives here where I live, so it would have to be on a Zoom call. But we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about where you are with your business, what's really been a problem and a challenge for you in the past. And we're going to make a plan to help you get to where you want to go. We're going to map it out so that you aren't confused as to what you're supposed to be doing. Because sometimes the overwhelm is killer, where you feel like you have to do it all. And if we can make a step-by-step plan for you to where you're just checking one thing off at a time to get to the top of that mountain, right? We're one base camp at a time. You're going to be able to get there and feel better while you're doing it. Really lower the stress for y'all. That is the key. So the total value of everything we've got going here for you guys is $2,600. And it's your place to get expert training, the support and help you need to consistently grow your business and sales every month. So this was Melody, one of the artists that I work with in the past. She said she gained the confidence to raise my prices. And she said, I'm getting paid better for what I've sold. She had the coolest photography, and her prices, they were fair. It's not that she was underpricing her art severely, but she was leaving a lot of money on the table. So we made sure that she was able to increase her prices. And Lisa was, she said, I'm selling more art because I can confidently connect with my audience and close the sale. Sean has helped me face some of the biggest roadblocks to achieving my art business goals and overcome them so that now I can confidently sell my work. We really were able to lower and help her let go a lot of anxiety. She had a lot of anxiety about how to get out there in front of her audience, especially going live. It was something that she was really uncomfortable with, and we were able to help her with that. And then there was Susan. And I love having all these artists. I've worked with some amazing artists, having a coach who takes the time to teach not only sales psychology, but also keep her students on track and working through hidden mental blocks and hurdles we don't even know we have is wonderful. And I'll tell you, just like the story I told you at the beginning, I didn't know what hurdles, I didn't know what was in my way. It took me having other coaches, other mentors to help me figure out what they were, and then also to help me get around them. Because a lot of times we just can't see how to get around them. Who is this for? It's for any artist who's going to be dedicated to learning and consistently applying the training content in here. And it's a person who's going to be engaged, positive, and supportive to their fellow community members and peers. Because we're going to be giving and taking. It's not just all about taking in here. And if you're a new, emerging, or an established professional artist who wants to sell more art, that's who this is for. Anyone who has limited time to invest in their business and needs thorough and targeted training. So I know I run into a lot of artists, and I have other programs for artists that require more time investment, and they honestly just don't have it, because they are working full-time jobs. Some of them are full-time jobs plus parents of younger kids. There's a million different scenarios, not a million, but there are a ton of scenarios as to why you may have limited time to grow your business right now. And I want to tell you that that's okay. That doesn't mean that you just have to give up and let it go. You're just at a different pace than everyone else, and that is okay. We're going to make sure that you feel good about the progress that you're making even if you only have time to watch one masterclass a month. It's also designed to make sure that you have time to implement and practice and apply what it is you're learning. One of the biggest obstacles I see, actually, let me move. One of the biggest obstacles I see from artists is that they take a whole bunch of information in, and then number one, they're overwhelmed as to what they need to be doing, or they're trying to do it all. Or number two, they just leave it as information and that they've taken in, but they haven't integrated it enough to be able to really put it out there and get it right. A lot of times we take the information in, we go out, we try it, we don't get the result we want, and we're like, oh, brother, that didn't work. And we either let go of it or we jump to the next thing. This is designed to help keep you focused on track for one step at a time. That is what we're doing here. So who is it not for? It's not for the artist who wants an accelerated intensive training program with instant results. It's just not going to do that for you. I'm going to be honest. This is not going to be, on week 4. Now, I'm not saying you can't on week 4. I've had artists that have done that, but you're not going to be making 6 figures a year if you're only making $10,000 in 4 or 6 weeks. It's going to take you time. And anyone who wants a done for you system. This is not me doing it for you. I'm actually in here working with you so that you can take this and implement it and scale it for yourself. And the person who wants regular weekly in-person guidance and feedback, I do have another program for that. If you're like, yeah, no, I really want to be able to talk to someone every week and have them give me feedback on what it is I'm doing. If that's the kind of program you want, I have that. It's called Summit Seekers. So if that is you, feel free to message me. If you're looking at this going, yeah, no, I want more, go ahead and message me. And anyone who's going to come in with a negative attitude, meaning if you've already predetermined that this isn't going to work for you, then you're going to really struggle to do that. I've got Jamie over there pointing. What?
The Blake.
The Blake, the finger pointing Blake. No, you're not going to be the person with the negative attitude. We want to make sure that we have the right people in here. So here's what you've got. You've got 2 options to join. Your total value is over $2,600 here. You can join monthly. That's on the left side here. You have everything that I listed. If you choose to join annual, you have a couple more bonuses coming to you. Those are the 2 ways you can join the program. If you decide to be an annual member, you get these added bonuses. So you're going to get a backstage pass to my Video Pro Challenge that I offer. That should be coming up. I think we have one at the beginning of March. I've got to double check those dates. So you'll automatically have a pass to have the back-end training with me, which is the one-on-one Zooms that you get to, small group Zooms where you get one-on-one feedback on whatever it is we're doing in the challenge. Then you're going to get the Power Offer Sales Bundle. This is a couple of really targeted trainings that are going to help you level up what you do in your offers so that you can convert more sales. Plus, you get the discount. You're getting 2 months free when you are joining the annual membership. So here's what it is. I know you're like, wow, really? It's only that? Yes, it is only that. Let me give you a little explanation on that. So right now, I realize this is underpriced. The price will be going up. I'm going to be honest. This is not a price that is going to be available for long. I have limited this offer to only having 30 members. Now, here's the benefit. If you are one of the 30 founding members, this is your price forever. Your price will not go up when I go out there and offer it or the next people that come in. This is the price that you can stay at as long as you'd like. As long as you'd like. The $250 annual, obviously that's saving you $50. Normally it would be $300 a year if you choose the monthly, but either way is good for you. I would love to be able to offer this free, but honestly, I can't do this for free. I have to make a living, and it wouldn't be, I would not be motivated to stay dedicated and really digging in with y'all if I was not getting reimbursed for this. So I know there are some artists that think that, what they need, they just should be able to have it for free. But the truth is, artists, anyone, this is once again, how our human minds work. Our human brain, we aren't going to value something unless we have, quote, a little skin in the game, right? That is how we value something. So, it's just like personal trainers, right? If you're going to lose weight, a personal trainer isn't going to work with you for free. They know that having that appointment and you paying for that appointment is a motivation for you to show up. And it's the same thing here. That is motivation for you to show up and engage every month to get this content done. The schedule where the live classes are going to be yet. If you're talking about summit seekers, yes, I have. I will actually message you on that. We can talk about that if that's what you're referring to, Katrina. So here's an example. Here's what's happening our first month. This is the Trailblazer Facebook community. This is our private community. Eventually, I will be actually taking this off platform. It won't always be a private Facebook group. It will actually be a private group that you can log into from anywhere. You won't have to deal with social media. But honestly, a lot of our businesses include social media. So it's really easy to use a private Facebook group as our community. And that is where we're going to be doing everything, right? So first of all, your first monthly masterclass is going to be dropping into the library. It's going to be available on February 7th. The message makeover will be available on the 21st. And both of those will be in the training library. We will be opening up. I'll show you what that's going to look like next. And then we've already got our first event planned. We are going to be doing a Valentine's celebration. Woo-hoo, I can't wait. We're going to make sure we have gifts for everyone. And we're going to be doing a creative activity together because we need some inspiration. So, all right, that's that. Then we are still building out this library, the members area library. So this is where you're going to be going to get your monthly masterclass. When you click on that, it's going to have all the masterclasses in there, which, by the way, you guys are going to have access as founders to the training library archive, meaning every class that's in there, you will have available to you forever. That will not be the case for future offers. Future offers for people that want available to the complete library archive, after a while, there's going to be there'll be 12 in there in 1 year. So if you want access to that after this founding member offer is passed, you will be paying an extra fee for that. And the same with the monthly message makeovers. Otherwise, there will just be one in there every time, one per month. And then the sales secrets, that's actually going to be where you're going to find your bonuses. And then we're going to have the link to the group in there too. So, if you're in there and you want to pop over to the group, you'll have the link to that. So that is what's going to happen. Yes, Katrina, I will definitely get that scheduled with you so that we can talk about Summit Seekers. I think that would be perfect for you, really getting some feedback every week on where you're at. So here's the extra. This is the biggest bonus, I think, of all, which is why I saved this for last, this is a no risk guarantee. You can cancel at any time. We're going to give you the link to the information, the invite page, and that's going to give you all the information and all the details, even on that refund policy, the no risk guarantee. So you can check that out. You really have nothing to lose. And it's finally giveaway time. You guys have been hanging out with me for a whole hour. Let's kick it. Okay, let me figure out. Hang on, I've got to remove this, y'all. And then I've got to switch to the screen. Here we go. All right. I've got everyone's names in here several times. So we have the Starbucks coffee card. I'm actually going to get my notes so I can write this down because I'll be honest, you guys, menopause, my brain I forget everything. Oh my gosh. Someone told me that it'll come back. So I'm waiting for that. So we have the coffee gift card. Oh, we got an ad. And then we also have a copy of my book. So let's see who. Coffee cards first. Who's winning our Starbucks coffee card, gift card? Bronwyn! Yay, Bronwyn! Okay, you will need to be looking for that in your email. Let me screenshot this, but I will let you know that that's coming. Okay, and our book. Let's see who's doing the book. Cheryl! Great. Okay, once again, let me screenshot this before we clear out here. All right, I will be contacting you. Let me stop screen share here. I will be contacting you guys to make sure that you get your gifts, and we will send those out to you both through email. So I love that you guys are here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. We have, oh wow, what happened to my thing? Part 1, part 3. Oh, I'm missing it. There we go. Let me get to, I've got so many things back here. So after I get that to you, I just want you to, once again, I want you to go through your list of what's between the dream you have for your business and the life you want. What are your trail blockers that you need to conquer? And try to get as specific with them as you can, right? That right there is going to be the key to working through the trail blockers. We have to know specifically what they are. And I want you to think of this. I want 2023 to be your year, your big year for success. Holy moly. So how many more obstacles could you conquer if you had the help and support, the extra training, feedback, expert feedback and guidance, and really a supporting community of creatives who are all doing it with you, right? They're all doing it with you. You're not out there alone anymore, and a team that helps make the work fun. How much better would your year go? So you are invited to the Trailblazers Collective. The registration is open. Once again, we already have 3 of the founders spots actually taken. So right now there's a total of 30, there's 27 left. But this is the link. Jamie, if you can also post the live link in the chat for them. And we will be posting, of course, that invite link in the group so that later you can check that out and register. We will be closing registration right now on Friday. If we still have room for more founders members, we will probably offer this again at another time. But right now, we will be closing the doors for our founders members on Friday. Now, if you have someone here, if you are here and you know someone who can use this, but they aren't here, let me know or invite them to the group. Either way, if you let me know, I will reach out to them or let them know to reach out to me, and we can make sure that they have this offer in their hands, as well as the training we did today, so they can kind of see the big picture. Because I realize that a lot of us may know other artists who aren't here. They don't hang out with us for various reasons, but we want to make sure that this is available to everyone, which is why we have opened the doors at the founders price point. So, all right, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I love that you spent the time here. Katrina, I will be checking in with you. And anyone else who has questions, message me. Message me. If you have more questions, you're like, I don't know what this is. What did you mean by this? Message me and we will get that taken care of for you. We want to make sure you know what you're signing up for. All right. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.